going to be doing all the cooking tonight. It should be interesting.
Microphone is on now.
What?
Microphone is on.
Okay.
So you can say hi.
Oh, I actually need to get a towel.
Okay. Microphone is on. Oh. So you can say hi.
Just did laundry yesterday, and the towels was still downstairs. All right.
Okay, people are waving. I think it's time. Let me spin this around, and I'll just come join you over there.
And what is the framing like?
Your head's cut off. So
Okay, that means your head definitely will be cut off.
Yes, I know. There. That's what we gotta. I'll squat because otherwise I got wine glasses in the way. But we'll make this work. Here we are. Let me put our names up. Hey, there we are.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Cherie. We're Technomadia.
And we're doing something unique today. We're broadcasting, or attempting to broadcast from our kitchen, which is a little bit trickier than, having a computer in front of us to actually see what we're doing.
So you are joining in for part 2 of our roaming virtual dinner party. We just did a live cast on our Facebook page where Chris made fresh salsa.
Yes, so we're showing off basically all the appliances and all the things we do to cook and prep and do everything stuff on our boat. So we showed off the built-in food processor over there. And now for the main course, we're going to show off the induction and the convection microwave and
the
our
Instant Pot. Now, we don't usually use all this equipment to do a single meal. So this is kind of special. We usually try to keep things to one device for simplicity in cleaning up. And because we're usually lazy about cooking. We are not chefs. Please know that. We're not foodies. I'm not working off recipes this evening. We are totally just doing this
kind of making up as we go. We went to a farmer's market earlier today.
Not just a farmer's market. It was a farmer's market right here, right off our dock. We are currently in Marineland, Florida, just south of St. Augustine.
Yeah, and the Marineland Marina is right across from the Marineland Oceanarium, and they host the town's farmer's market in the marina parking lot every Sunday.
So we woke up and saw it right off of our boat, and we decided this evening we're going to be making our dinner out of mostly going to be out of ingredients that we bought at the farmer's market just this morning.
So talk about provisioning right off the boat. It's about as good as you can get.
But first, you want to show them the footage of the farmer's market this morning?
You hang out there. I'll switch over and
gotta get all fancy now.
We're playing around with fun things we can do with OBS. Here.
That is the software we're using.
Come around.
Okay.
We're spin this around. Now this is actually the view from our boat looking towards the farmer's market. That's all the tents that were set up there. And basically right out our door, which is quite awesome. And let's see, we've actually got... This is actually the view from our boat looking towards the farmer's market. Oh gosh, that's why are we getting double audio? Okay. What else is playing audio?
How do you know you're getting double audio?
Because when I turn this up, I hear that.
Well, you got YouTube going somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know where it would be going. Is
Safari
still open? Okay, let me quit Safari.
I usually have Safari open.
Okay, that's probably it, because otherwise we won't hear the audio of the little bits of us in the farmer's market. Here we are. This is a farmer's market at our marina. It's hard to beat. This is the first time we've tried to insert video bits into our broadcasts, because, hey, why not? What's the name of the company?
Red Flag Spicy Foods.
Red Flag Spicy Foods, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to cook with us tonight.
I'll tell you, that's all I
Yes. Okay, this was the veggies.
And then it's some
Do
cilantro.
we need any onions?
I think we're good on onions.
Okay. And a dash of cilantro would be good. I think we still have a jalapeno left.
Got your jalapenos.
Let's see, yeah, and that was our haul from the farmer's market. And, right there. The fish and the veggies and the hot sauce. That's kind of looking back at the boat.
And that's our boat in the background.
Yeah, there's us. The boat right in the middle is us. And there we are. Again, another view of that. So let's go back to us. iPhone broadcast. There we are. Okay, turn that off. So. Whoa!
Okay. Chris just dumped orchids all over the place, and now there's water going everywhere. Oh,
So-
you broke the orchids.
And we got water on the desk, even more critical. So, hey, live.
Catastrophe.
I think it's of avoiding the tech. Nothing like live for a little bit of a disaster. But hey, this will make for more fun YouTube, right?
Oh, poor orchids.
We had them all set up so pretty, but of course we are not broadcasting wireless. And
You're gonna need a costume change.
I'm gonna have to. While you're cooking, I'm gonna have to go run down and change shorts because I'm soaked in orchid water. Yay!
Okay.
Let's clear the orchids away from the camera pass-through spot. Oh.
These orchids we bought in New
different-
Smyrna Beach about 2 weeks ago.
At a different farmer's market.
And they have been doing beautifully until this evening. So sad. Okay.
Kiki's like, why you made it rain?
And why didn't you make it rain food?
Yes.
Okay.
Is any? Let's see. The trackpad's got some water on it, but avoided the computer. So, want to talk about cooking-ish stuff?
All right. So, if you've been following along, when we were in Fort Pierce in April and May, we actually remodeled, did a little bit of remodeling. Of course, put in the corner desk that we just spilt water all over, and we redid some of our kitchen. So we took out the original Princess stove that was there, with electric range and oven, and replaced it with an inset induction cooktop, as well as replaced it with a storage shed or storage cabinet so that we can keep our Instant Pot and some of our other pots and pans in there. So we're going to be kind of utilizing a lot of that space this evening, showing you how we cook. Just keep in mind, we don't normally cook this many dishes and use this many things at once. So
We don't normally spill on ourselves either.
there's a lot of stuff we don't normally do. So that's what we're going to be doing this evening. Everything that we're cooking tonight, we're going to try to use stuff we got at that farmer's market earlier today. So we're going to be doing something with some Mahi Mahi fish that we purchased. It was supposedly caught fresh here recently. It was frozen though when we got it. And veggies. So we're going to try to come up with something with veggies.
Okay. Microphone should be able to pick us up in the kitchen. And
Okay, is it better to take these wine glasses down?
sure, if you don't like that kind of scenic framing.
Alrighty. Okay, what am I starting with?
That's a good question.
First thing is zucchini is in season right now, so almost every farmer's market we go to has lots of zucchini, and I'm sure you're probably doing the same. And I did a quick Google for zucchini recipes this evening, and I've decided to make a zucchini thing. They're kind of the zucchini wedges, and they're going to be baked in our oven. We use a convection, our microwave is a convection microwave oven that we put in, that was over a year ago. So I'm going to make some wedges out of this. I think I'll make them even thinner.
We did have some people comment that this is an excuse that I have to get you more flowers now.
Yeah, but see, the problem is there was no one at the farmer's market today to do flowers, and the nearest grocery store is 5.5 miles away.
Yeah, but it's biking distance.
It is, but getting flowers back and it's hot probably isn't going to work very well. So we do have more orchids over here, but they did last 2 weeks, and I think they would have got a few more days left. So I just made some long wedges out of these. And then I'm going to coat them with some olive oil. Let's
Want to explain how the pantry is or set up or where stuff is stored?
Well, behind we're on a Bayliner 4788 is the type of boat that we have. And behind the stove area is areas to store oils and things like that. And then there is a spice cabinet behind it. And we found it fairly functional. I'm not overly pleased with the shelving heights in here. Maybe they're adjustable. I haven't even looked. Because
No,
we
they're
tend to
not.
have some things that are taller that don't fit as well. So ideally, at some point, we'll kind of remodel that a bit and make it a little more functional for how we cook. So what was I doing? I was going to get some olive oil.
Oh, is that already out there, Frank?
No, that's grapeseed oil. That's what I'm going to be doing the fish in. Actually, I'm going to start getting the convection microwave preheated. Now, our convection microwave doubles as storage for flat things. I'm gluten-free, so we don't keep a lot of breads around normally unless we find like a gluten-free bakery in our travels. But we do keep a lot of gluten-free wraps around for sandwiches, quesadillas, tacos, and things like that. So those normally get stored in the oven because that's about the only place there is for flat storage in this boat. Or maybe the engine.
Yes. You're getting some nice comments on your necklace. That's a new purchase.
Yes, I got this at a local artist in New Smyrna Beach before we left. It's made out of
Sea glass.
Sea glass, yes. Different sea glasses on it. I like supporting local artists when we come across them. And I like having unique pieces of jewelry and not necessarily like high-end gemstone sort of stuff. So I am going to start preheating the oven. And I am also going to, so this is the induction cooktop that we put in. And Chris, do you have the photo of the old
Yep. Let me bring
oven
it up.
area?
So I'm switching over to, this is what was in there before. So we ditched that big electric, well not big, 3-burner electric oven. I've got several scars on my legs from the process of getting it out.
They can't hear you because the microphone's.
This is fairly wide. You can hear me, right? Yeah, so I've got several scars on my leg, but that is out, and now we've turned it into storage space. So let me turn this back to the iPhone. There we are. So now it is a great storage space for the Instant Pot and all our pots and pans.
Keep a rice cooker, Instant Pot. We've got a pot, a pan. I don't know, maybe this is a pan and that's a pot. I get them mixed up all the time. And baking sheet. So pretty much everything that we need to do basic cooking is here.
Joe is here. He's apologizing for arriving late for his moderator duty. So I think he did just kick somebody out of the group. So thank you, Joe, for being here. And it's okay to be late.
Our volunteer was late. I mean, how can I complain about that? Thank you for being here, Joe. We super appreciate it. Joe, the computer guy, is...
And if you were here, Joe, you could have some of these.
It'll get much more interesting here soon. Now they said to kind of pour this all into a bowl and mix it. I'm being stingy on the number of, we're already going to be using a lot of stuff tonight. So I'm going to try to minimize that and try to just coat them this way.
You know, maybe for when we have the patron hangout later, we can actually live stream me doing all the dishes because there's going to be a lot from today.
Yeah, maybe the patron hangout this afterwards will be doing
Drinking and dishes.
So yes, like I said, this is part 2 of our roaming dinner. We did, before this, we were on Facebook Live and Chris made a salsa. And we will try to get the footage of that up on YouTube later as an archive. Because Facebook sucks for archiving stuff.
Here's the salsa, though.
And that's made out of fresh cilantro and tomatoes that we got at the farmer's market this morning.
And it is good.
So the zucchini we got at the farmer's market this morning, and I'm just coating these all with a little bit of olive oil and some hair. Who cares, right? It's us. That's bad. Okay. Like I said, we are not chefs. We are not foodies. It kind of makes things up. In my cooking, I tend to go for edible, being my standard. All right. Now, olive oil. Store that back over here. Wash my hands because now they're all oily. Right.
Yeah, actually, the sink faucet is the same one we installed in our bus. It's a nice pull-down dual mode. It's very handy.
Right, so what I'm doing now, this is some Parmesan. Did not get this at the farmer's market. Actually, we probably bought this about 6 months ago at Publix. They did not have a cheese vendor at this farmer's market, so I'm making do. But I'm going to dust this with some Parmesan. Hopefully the Parmesan sticks to the olive oil that I have put on the zucchini wedges. This is really hard Parmesan. I actually go to more of the slicey stuff. Obviously this is not vegan because we're using Parmesan. Not get the plastic in there. That would be a good thing.
We got a comment from Curtis that he would like us to combine cooking with reviewing Weeboost technologies. Totally riveted and would like to combine the two videos.
Two different channels. So
Yes.
our day job is doing cellular and mobile internet stuff, and that we have a separate channel for that, the mobile internet info, whatever.
Mobile internet
Resource
info.com.
Center. See, it's the weekend. I'm trying not to work. So we try to keep our personal lives, which is cooking and fun and cruising and fun stuff, separate from our work life a little bit. That's all about work-life balance. So probably won't be seeing that combination, but maybe we'll combine lithium batteries and cooking sometime. Maybe that would be useful.
We have done cooking on lithium before.
Mhm. And I'm just going to put some roasted garlic and herb seasonings on top of this. Okay, and we're just going to set these in the oven and let them bake. So pretty super simple. Should be fairly healthy except for that olive oil thing, right?
And the cheese and the...
Yeah, well, the zucchini's healthy.
We love having the convection microwave here.
So the recipe that I found online said to switch to broil after 15 minutes. Our oven doesn't have broil, so, you know, I'm winging it.
We're baking.
I'm baking everything.
You spin around a little bit more, you'll show up your shirt nicely.
Ooh, oh yes.
Yeah. Why? Just because why not is more fun than why.
So the t-shirts are still available if you want one of these. They are still available through Tuesday. It is a limited run that we're doing. We basically wanted boat shirts, and Bonfire designed them for us and sent these as our samples. And we are making them available to you guys in a limited run print thing. So if you would like one, make sure you get your order in by the end of Tuesday. And you can find out more information on those. I have a link in the description to this video, but you can go to technomadia.com/shirt, and that'll go to the store and you can get your order in. I don't know that we'll ever do these again. It was a lot of work to put together a campaign, and we're not really the promotional type of people, so.
But a lot of boaters have shirts, and so we wanted to have boat shirts for ourselves. And a lot of people ask us, can we have shirts like your shirts and boat shirts? And so,
We're like, well,
if you get in during this window, you can have our shirts. But now we've got
not
cool
off our
boat
backs,
shirts.
so. All right, so now I'm getting out the Instant Pot. We love our Instant Pot. We have had ours now for probably
4 years.
3 or 4 years. We carry one on the bus. We now carry one on the boat. We've given them to our parents as gifts. We love it. It is a combination of a electric pressure cooker. It's a rice cooker. It can make yogurt. It can do slow cooking like a crock pot would be able to do. And it's a very versatile tool to use, especially in mobile cooking. So this one is our original one. It actually is the Bluetooth controlled one, but quite honestly, skip the Bluetooth. It's gimmicky.
It is kind of fun to see how hot your pot is, but that's about all you can do.
About all it does. But we use this a lot. We make a lot of curries in it. We do pulled chicken in it. I've hard-boiled eggs in it before. We'll do soups and chilies and things like that in it. So I would say we use it at least once or twice a week in our daily food prep. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting together, usually I would like make green beans or something like that on the stovetop. I'm limited on dishes, and I want to show off our Instant Pot. These are great because I think this is on Amazon for like 99 bucks right now, which is not too bad. And it was on Amazon Prime sale earlier.
Prime Day, yeah.
Prime Day. So
always it's a challenge, the amount of counter space you have.
yes, and that is one of the challenges. The Bayliner, this Galley in the Bayliner is pretty good for counter space, but there are limitations. I mean, this is like only workable area for cooking and prepping. So a little bit of space over here, and definitely since we put the induction cooktop and made everything flat, it's made a little bit of extra area. We found this side over here is a little precarious. Things get knocked over really
There's
easily.
a little ledge there along the back, so it's not good. And then the little breakfast bar area is not even big enough for a plate, so it's more decorative and looks great, but it is not a ton of space up there. And now we got the computer right here as well, so we got to be careful not to splash anything into the office.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of water, and the reason I'm using this faucet is this is the one where we have a water filtration system hooked up to it. It's the Seagull filtration system. It was installed on the boat when we bought it.
So it's a very nice water filter. And that right over there is the built-in food processor where we made salsa in. So we've got that's our other kitchen appliance, and the ice maker, which we love having. And then we've got the trash compactor as the other
Yes.
bit of kitchen appliance there.
Trash compactor here. We mainly use this when we're doing a lot of anchoring out because this is a great way to store the trash.
But it lasts forever.
When we're in marinas with easy trash access, we actually just have this that hangs over one of the cabinet doors to hold just grocery store bags. So we will sometimes skip taking the canvas bags to the grocery store and make sure we have a few plastic bags on hand. And that way we're just getting the trash right off the boat.
A few comments here. Curtis says, Instant Pot is a great name for a reggae band. And I can see that.
Yeah.
And our growing family just joined us on Patreon. So you'll get to come. This is a 3-part roving dinner party. So we did the appetizers on Facebook Live. We're doing the main course here on YouTube Live. And then we're going to hang out after we eat, hang out for evening cocktail with our patrons in a 2-way video chat using Zoom later tonight. So what time is that at?
That's at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so we like that because it's a smaller crowd and we can actually interact 2 ways.
So I'm doing. So we bought some fresh green beans at the farmer's market this morning, and I've already chopped them and washed them, so they're ready to go. These are some Brussels sprouts that we bought at the farmer's market in New Smyrna Beach last weekend that are still good, so we're going to throw some of those in there with it. And I'm cutting up some onion. This onion we bought at the farmer's market at New Smyrna Beach last weekend. So still sticking to the farmer's market theme, just not all from this farmer's market here in Marineland. Okay. My onion is not cooperating and staying nicely lined up.
We are not professional chefs.
Not professional chefs. These are professional knives, though.
It's always good to have the best knife you can get.
I'm using global knives. We like these because it's all a solid piece of steel, which means they're really easy to keep sanitized. There's no connections between wood and metal or things for things to grow in it, and which is really important sometimes on a boat when you're on limited water supply. And they're just really, really nicely balanced knives. I've got this one as well as a chef's one. And one of the cooking classes we have taken is on knife work.
Practice, yes.
Not that I'm great, but at least I don't cut myself too often.
And then when you do it, like having that magnetic knife rack, it's very handy. Makes good use of kitchen space on the wall back there.
That in there, I've already washed and peeled out the outer layers of the Brussels sprout, so I'm just going to shred some of these up there and make our vegetable medley that we'll be having as a side dish with the fish that we'll be getting to here and pan searing and hoping it comes out edible. Farmers markets are a great compliment for us in traveling. I think we counted that we now have encountered 6 of them since we started cruising, where they were actually within walking distance of our marina. When we're without our vehicle, so we also have a Mini Cooper that we normally tow behind our RV, and it is currently positioned in Central Florida at my mom's place. So when we get someplace that we know we're going to stay for a while, we'll arrange with my mom to coordinate getting it to us, and then we'll have local transport. But we go through extended cruising periods where it just doesn't make sense to go through that effort, and we're currently in one of those phases where we're intending to move every week or two. So we're not hopscotching the car with us, and we've been without the car since early June. And that means that if the grocery store is not close by, then we're either using Instacart, which is grocery delivery, to have groceries delivered to us, which there is an upcharge to that. We're doing Lyft or Uber to go to the grocery store ourselves, which it works just fine. Or we're bumming rides from other cruisers in marinas, which is actually quite common. When we have our car, we loan our car out all the time to other cruisers, and when we're in marinas, we get offered as well, which is fantastic in the cruising community. Or my mom comes and visits, and she takes us for provisioning runs, which is awesome. Thanks, Mom. But having the farmers market come right to us is a great way for us to keep up with our fresh veggies, and we've really enjoyed that in our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extended stops. Is having that every weekend, is knowing that we can refresh our fresh veggies, and that keeps us going. And then we're just going to the grocery store for stuff that we can't find at the farmers market, like avocados weren't at this one, so we'll have to go. We love avocados, so we're going to have to go get avocados here.
And Willy Wonka says we should get an electric bike, and actually
we do. We have 2 of them.
Swing the camera around here. We have 2 Ejo Epic SEs that we have, and we actually just got them back into rideable shape while we were at New Smyrna Beach. And we have used those for grocery runs, and actually we scoped out the grocery the grocery store here in Marineland is about a 5.5, 6 mile bike ride away, which is far to do it without electric, but with electric it is not a big deal at all. It's actually a beautiful ride through nice parklands and stuff. So we'll probably go do a little provisioning here via electric bike, and electric bike's super handy for that sort of thing.
So that's the other way, is we'll just do our electric bikes, which now having them back in service has been awesome. We did our bike ride earlier this week up that way and kind of scoped out what's around.
And we went probably about 12, 13 miles that day.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, so in the Instant Pot, I've got green beans, Brussels sprouts, and onions chopped. We've got a little bit of water in there to use as our steaming base. And I just put some more of that garlic herb seasoning in there. Mm-hmm. So nice and basic. I'm going to close up the Instant Pot. Make sure the vent seal is to the back so that it will actually build up pressure. And the instructions I read on doing green beans in an Instant Pot is basically you set it to manual mode and then you do 0 minutes. Because basically just the process of getting it up to pressure is enough to cook the green beans to a nice crispy state. So they're still crispy but cooked. I'm actually going to put 1 minute on it because I'm going to live dangerously.
Yeah, when they say Instant Pot, they don't factor in the time it takes to build up the pressure or to depressurize afterwards. So the instant is a little bit off. But otherwise they could be saying, hey, you can make green beans in a literal instant, 0 minutes.
Right. So basically what happens now is I put it on 1 for 1 minute. And what that means is after it's reached pressure, it will be at pressure for a minute. So it'll probably take a good 10 minutes for it to get to pressure. All right, so we're gonna let that sit and do its thing, and hopefully magical food happens there. Next, we're going to deal with our fish. And we picked up some Mahi Mahi. The guy at the stand said it was fresh. It was frozen to us when we got it, so hopefully it was flash frozen.
It's
It is
fresh
still
frozen.
I have had it
Thawing this morning.
thawing this morning, but our refrigerator is running a little on the cold side. But that should be good. I'm going to go ahead and run this under a little bit of cold water. These are some big pieces.
Curtis has got band names on the mind tonight. He keeps coming up with a band name for the things we're saying. So Knife Work is a great metal band, and then 0 Minutes is a good band name as well. So yeah, the theme in the commentary is right band names.
All right, so
See what else you can come up with.
All right, I'm gonna pan here. I'm just putting some lime juice. Had we been thinking, we would have picked up some fresh limes from the farmer's market. This is one of the downsides to farmer's markets is when you remember that you needed something or could use an additional ingredient once you start to figure out your recipe or what you're doing that evening. Well, usually then the farmers are gone. So we're gonna have to make do and use lime juice there. I'm going to put some pepper.
Yeah, the Farmers Are Gone would be a good band name too.
I'm actually going to use some garlic salt on there. And we're going to be topping this when we're done with the salsa that Chris made earlier this evening. So that's what is going to go on top of
I
that.
also have this stuff too here. This
Yes.
is we picked this up as a locally made hot sauce. This is a sweet one that seemed like it'd be good on fish. It's got Red Flag Spicy Foods, Black 13 with rum soaked cherries, pears, bird's eye chilies, and scotch bonnets. And that could be kind of interesting, I think.
All right, we're going to start pan searing our fish. Now, very often when we're doing fish, we actually will wrap it in foil and put it out on the grill. We have a Magma infrared grill out on the cockpit. You can see they're covered in blue.
There's a grill back there. We use that lots.
So we normally will grill, but since this is about the kitchen, we're going to actually use our induction hob to do that. So I'm going to pull out my pan. This is an emerald pan. And it is induction certified. So with induction, it's using magnetic energy to actually stir up the ions in the metal. So it does need to be a ferrous metal pan. And the heat is actually generated from that magnetic energy. There's not actually heat that's coming off the induction hob. It's a great option for mobile environments because it's instantly hot that way, almost instantly. Much more than an electric range, more like a propane range in that way. But you're not dealing with the open flame that you have with propane, and you can still adjust the heat up and down with the same sort of precision that you can with a gas flame.
Yeah, induction is like wonderful. It's all the benefits of cooking with gas and all the benefits of electric combined plus.
So what I've done is I've turned it on. I'm setting it to level 4, which is kind of medium low. And it's basically, I mean, the pan is already kind of warm to touch. It's pretty much instant. And what that's great about is because there's not heat coming from the cooking element itself, is that means there's not a lot of heat loss. So not a lot of heat coming into the living space, which is really important on these hot days. We fell in love with induction when we got our bus. And we were in the desert, Arizona in June. It was like 115 stupid degrees, 127 one day. And it was great to be able to still cook and not have the heat coming off of the cooking appliance in that small space. Because it's really hard to dissipate that amount of heat and you're in a small mobile space. It's also great because yes, it's electric and it is using power. So for those of us that prefer to be living more power independent, so yeah, we're solar powered on the bus. It can do the draw off of our lithium batteries, but it's not having to heat as long as you would with an electric range. So that oil should be ready, and I'm going to put our fishies on. See, they're already sizzling. I think there's enough fish for 4. So if anyone's nearby and wants to come over for dinner, let us know.
Marineland, Florida.
All right. And everything is cooking. I think I'm done with the prep mode. It's just cooking mode. I'm going to let that simmer for on there. Is there any questions that people have?
Questions? Anybody? Throw them up. Joe's getting ready to make some margaritas with limes. He's been inspired. But yeah, anybody who's out there, throw up some questions. This is now perfect time now. Anything about cooking on a boat? Oh, we had that question about provisioning earlier.
Oh yeah. Thomas is considering getting a Bayliner 4788, and he was curious about the storage options on this boat. Can this come around?
It can come apart. You probably can make sure it doesn't pull out. So you've got it there, and
right.
that's about as far as you can go.
So as far as dry storage, there is this compartment, which goes further back. It goes all the way back behind, about the same length as where this cabinet is. So you can put like stuff you don't use very frequently back there. And it goes, look not that far, that's how deep it is. This is where we keep our silverware, cooking stuff, bowls, and our plates. So this is storage for all that sort of stuff. Then for dry storage, you've got this bin, and excuse my, it is a mess.
This is
So
under the sink there.
this is underneath the sink. So coming down here, so there is a decent amount of storage back here as well. You can see it's kind of awkward because boxes and things like that don't fit very well. And then cans.
The microphone's still up here, so project.
And then cans.
Yeah.
They're on that way. Now, one thing that we did, coming over this way,
Okay.
this cabinet, microphone? This cabinet here is where the TV normally was, and we just put the TV over there as a pop-up.
I'm not going to lift it because it'd spill everything, but this whole wall is TV now.
So now this is also now dry storage. And then underneath the couch, you take up these, and you've got storage underneath the couch.
All the big L is all storage, so that's a lot of our dry goods.
This will become lithium batteries.
Yep.
This cushion here under this section we actually use as storing like tortilla chips and other big bulky stuff. And there's all sorts of storage bins throughout the boat. I think Thomas had asked how often we reprovision. And we try to make a grocery store about weekly because we try to keep a lot of fresh ingredients on board. And we also do have, did we get video of, I think we forgot to get video. Up on our fly bridge, we have 100 cubic square foot.
It's not square foot.
Oh, no, square inch.
Yeah, it's a cubic liter. Actually, I don't know. It's the
I don't know.
100 CF.
So
the
it's
Dometic.
it's Dometic's 12 volt or 110
Or 24
freezer,
volt.
or freezer that we keep a lot of frozen stuff in.
It's a big chest freezer.
Our fridge is, it's more of an apartment size. It's about the same size as the one we have in our RV, so we're really used to making the best of this. But it's a pretty good size fridge. The freezer in this one, this is not the one that came with the Bayliner. This is one that the previous owner, this is just an apartment regular fridge.
Yeah, the one that came with the boat was actually a 12 volt one. So this one needs to have the inverter on to run. So all the more reason for us to get solar and lithium is to keep up with the fridge demands. We have a question of what is the brand of induction we have? This is the True Induction. The 2-burner Hob True Induction, I believe. I researched carefully to find the ones that would fit into that spot. This is the Duo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a link in the description to it to Amazon if you want to look it up. The price was $2.99 for it. It's a 2-burner one.
And it does not need to be built in like this. We actually used it for a year. It's got rubber feet and will sit on top of a countertop. But we bought it with the intention of recessing it like this so it becomes counter space.
Okay, so the Instant Pot, it's now counting up. So it's already come to pressure. It's already done that 1 minute that we asked it to. So what it is doing now, it is naturally releasing the pressure, which I'm just going to allow it to continue to do because it's still cooking a little bit in there. You can just flip this vent.
Just give it a quick flip to show some steam.
So you can do that and just release the steam immediately. I'm just going to let it continue to do its thing while we can finish the rest of the cooking process. I just added a little bit more time to the zucchini. I wasn't happy with how well done it was yet. I think it's going to come out to be about 25 minutes that I baked it at because we don't have that broil cycle on our convection microwave oven. And the fish is pan searing and doing its thing.
And Alex and Michelle want to know where we're at. We are in Marineland, Florida. And Dan says, can you use cast iron pans with induction? Yes, anything iron is good, steel is good, aluminum is not good. Yes, thumbs up for Dometic from a couple people.
Yes, we love our Dometic freezer. We actually need to do something on that one because we're really happy with it. We've had it for over a year now. And when we did our hurricane evacuation, because remember we had to leave the boat in Marathon for Irma, and we were able to borrow a large truck from our friend Randy. If Randy's there, thank you again. Miss you. The freezer actually fit right in the back of the truck, and we were able to hook it up to his 12-volt power, and we're able to basically remove all the food, most of the food, off of the boat and get it onto the bus, which is what we evacuated to Alabama in. So the portability of it was awesome. And it just stays up on the flybridge. It stays somewhere between 0 and 10 degrees during the day, even the heat of the day. And that's where we keep, a lot of our frozen fish and chicken and a lot of frozen veggies for when we can't get fresh stuff.
We had a question about the white appliance next to the refrigerator. That is the trash compactor. Again, that is something we've found very useful when we're anchored out. It makes 2 weeks of trash just disappear.
So it just keeps smushing and smushing.
Lots of fish coming on. Ooh, it's looking pretty good. It's smelling pretty good in here. And anybody who's got questions, it's the perfect time to throw them out.
How are we doing on time?
It is 7:11.
7:11. Okay, so we're broadcasting almost 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so this was just kind of a last minute sort of decision to do this broadcast. We've done a couple other live cooking shows. It's a lot
we're
of
professional chefs.
No, we're not. That's one thing why it's kind of weird for us to do them. And a lot of our cooking, we don't plan it in advance. We pretty much look at each other. What do you feel like? What do you feel like? No, not frozen pizza again. No, we're not calling Domino's again. And
that's Cherie's weakness right there.
Yeah.
Can we do Domino's?
They do a great gluten-free pizza. Quite often our cooking is just putting some fish on the grill and maybe some corn tortillas and doing fish tacos.
We do fish tacos a lot. And love them.
So we usually keep a lot of frozen fish on board to do fish tacos spontaneously. We do a lot of, we love using the Instapot, or we have a rice cooker as well, where we'll do black beans and rice. That's a staple in our household.
Yeah. And pulled chicken, and then we'll make a big batch and we'll have it on hand, so we'll just be able to have pulled chicken, keep it in the freezer and just have it out for anything. So we make tostadas all the time. It freezes really nice. We'll make a big batch of like 5 breasts in the Instant Pot. It's super easy to do pulled chicken. You can do it with barbecue sauce or rotel or other spices and have flavored, or you can just do straight up pulled chicken and then flavor it later. So it's super handy. It's one of our staples. People are wishing they had smell-o-vision. Yes, it's getting good in here. And somebody's asking, Mark is asking, do we catch our own fish? And
hell no. I mean, heck no.
Yes, we love to eat fish. We don't like the idea of having to chop their heads off and all that other work that is involved. If we were cruising out on like open ocean where there were big fish to be caught, I think we would. I'd be interested in it there, but the intercoastal is not great fishing grounds. and it's a lot of gear, and we can get stuff
And-
at farmers markets that are much better than we can get ourselves.
because we're doing the Great Loop, we'll be going to different states, and we'd have to keep up with different fishing license requirements, which can become a bit of a hassle for something that it's a lot easier and a lot cheaper just to support the local fishermen.
Yep.
Okay, that big one is, I think, still needs some more time, but the little one.
Okay. We have a question from Sitting Pretty wants to know if we cook black beans in the pot. Yes, we do all the time. We actually generally do not pre-soak the beans. They come out great in the Instant Pot without soaking them. My secret, and actually we've done this on YouTube. We've done black beans Instant Pot with orange juice is one of our tricks.
Search our YouTube channel for, I think we did.
Cooking or...
Yeah, it's one of our cooking one. We actually made our black beans in the Instant Pot and with the orange juice
It's
recipe.
super easy. Yeah. Orange juice, some water, the beans. You kind of get them just above the level. Chop up an onion and maybe a few other spices. Close it up, and you get the most amazing black beans ever.
Right. So our
Ooh,
baked zucchini with Parmesan and garlic.
that looks good.
That will be one of our side dishes. That's ready. And then I'm going to go ahead and open this guy up. And it's almost done.
Ooh.
That is our green beans, Brussels sprout, and onions with some garlic and herbs. Be one of our other side dishes to go along with our fish.
Oh, definitely wish you guys had the smell-o-vision right now. That opening that just let it loose. Yum.
A lot of yummy food. We're all relatively healthy this evening.
Now, Marilyn asks, where do we find local fish other than the farmers market? We have found local fish markets. Actually, there's apparently a really good one, not in bike riding distance here at Marineland as well. We haven't checked it out, but we have found local fish markets, and that's actually sometimes even better than farmers markets.
And sometimes you're in a marina that has that stores fishing boats, and you get friendly with the fishing guys or gals who are going out, and sometimes you do favors for them, and they give you fish.
Yes.
We actually had some fresh caught mahi mahi when we were in New Smyrna Beach. That was caught fresh from the guy who docked right across from our boat.
Mm-hmm.
It was super yummy.
Mark wants to know the energy draw of the cooktop.
I have no freaking clue.
It's uses a 15 amp circuit. It smartly divides the power if you're using the two hobs. It will not use more than 15. So if you try to put them both on full power, it will dial down to like a peak of 7, so you won't cross over 15 amps. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I've got enough fish here for more. Is anyone nearby?
Hey, I bet the dolphins across the street would like some.
Not cooked like this. Okay, I think we are done. And unless there's any other pending questions, it smells really good in here.
Okay.
So I think it's time for us to shut off the camera and go eat, because it would not be fair to eat in front of you. It just would not be right.
No. Okay. So yeah, we're going to enjoy this while it's hot. If you are one of our patrons or join quickly, we don't pressure this. Patron's not a way for us to make money, but we like the small group of it so we can have a two-way video chat and actually meet people. We're doing that hangout after dinner at 9 o'clock, right?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So
You're bad with time.
I'm bad with time. After dinner. And we'll have cocktails with the patrons. And so it's our third part of our three-way meal. And
Yes. So if you missed the salsa making, you can catch the archive right now on Facebook Live or on our Facebook page. It should still be up there, and we'll try to move that video over here to YouTube as an archive. And then, of course, this one, and then the patron will not be archived. So if you'd like to join us there, just a reminder: if you would like to get your Why Not Is More Fun Than Why shirts, those are only available through Tuesday, end of July. You get those at technomadia.com/shirt. And those will all be printed in one batch and shipped out by mid-August.
Yep, so one chance only to get these limited edition shirts, and don't feel pressured, but we're making them for ourselves, and if you want a shirt like us, cool. We love to share it.
All right, guys, thanks for joining in for this impromptu cooking session. Hope it was fun and enjoyable. You got to learn a little bit about cooking in a boat galley, and particularly the Bayliner 4788 and some of the mods that we've done and why. And maybe we'll do this again when we feel so inspired. So thanks again for joining in virtually for our journey. We love having you aboard. And have a great rest of your weekend.
Hey, ending the stream. Oh, a lot of people wishing they were closer.